All right. Hello, my crafty friends. Yay. Happy Tuesday. My name is Wendy Lee from CreativeLeeYours.com, and I have a stinking cute project for you today. I'm so excited about it. It's not so jolly, little happy elf, and he's dancing. Yay. We did a version of this card in my card club with the Bewitching bundle. And we had so much fun talking about all the different things that you could do with this that I had to try something different in using that bundle. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make this card today. So, you know, you've got the insider scoop to one of my card club projects. Well, differently, sort of, right? All right, I'm going to switch the camera over and we are going to get started with our crafty fun. All right, here we go. So today I am featuring two different stamp sets. If I can find where I put the card we made in my card club, I will share it with you. But my guess is it might be buried somewhere in my stash here. Let me look one place while we're chatting. Oh, I have it. I do have it. So this is the actual project that we made in Card Club. So this is the Halloween version, super adorable, right? And so we were sitting around and we're like, okay, what else can we do with this? Why not turn this little witch into a jolly little elf? So cute. I love it, love it, love it. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. So we are pulling in the Bewitching bundle, which who knew you could do a Santa elf with it, right? But I'm going to show you how. Love this. Has a coordinating punch. Let me bring that in. That goes with this that we'll be using as well. And then I've also pulled in the Celebrate with Tag stamp set. I really, really like this one. You're going to see a few things for me coming up using this because it is one of my faves right now. This does have a coordinating die set, which I'll show you in a bit as well. Okay, so the designer paper I'm using, I actually did not make a display board for. I have it cut. I just haven't pasted it and put it together. So who knows if and when I will get to that. So unfortunately, I can't show you all the fantabulous prints in the chart, but this is the hidden gem in the back of the July through December mini catalog, or what I like to call the holiday catalog. It's the Celebrate Everything 12 by 12 designer series paper stack. This is 48 sheets of the 12 double-sided, well, 48 sheets for each of 12 double-sided designs. So it is a big paper stack and it is fabulous. It's full of lots and lots of fun. It takes $18 of your host dollars, your host rewards, to get that paper pack. So you've got to place $150 in an order to start earning host rewards. So you could get that and it's a $30 value. It's awesome. Definitely one I would put on my list. So we are using that designer paper and I'll talk to you more about that. So thank you guys for joining me today. And I hope that you enjoy this sample as much as I do. So much fun. I don't know. I'm like, maybe this is the Christmas card to make my entire family. I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me. All right, I'm going to slide this aside and we're going to go ahead and get started. I know this is going to seem weird, but the first thing I want to do is I have a piece of acetate. So I used our window sheet. So after the video, I will go in and complete the entire supply list will be updated and I'll have the cut dimensions for both the standard letter size card as well as the, I think it's is it called A4? I always forget since I'm not in the other side of the pond, I forget. Letter size and A4. A4 is your standard card across the waters, right? So I'll have the A4 measurements as well listed. So this way you guys can just click the links and order any supplies that you need. And then you can also recreate it because you'll have all the measurements. And then this will post on my blog tomorrow. So if you want a printable recipe that you can print off and file, you can grab that off my blog tomorrow. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this penny to this acetate. You could use tear and tape, but I actually like using liquid glue for this. But it does take a bit of dry time. So I'm going to put my glob of liquid glue on there now. I'm doing it first, even though this is not really what you need to do first. Okay, I got to slide it off the table because my fingers are not picking it up. And I'm just going to glue this to the bottom. All we're doing is we're making a weighted pendulum here. So this is what makes our card function. There's a lot of different ways we can do this. I know Susan Campfield showed one not too long ago where she actually used the legs, not of this. Hers was different. It was using the gnomes, but she used the legs to actually be the weight and made this an entire pendulum thing on itself without using the penny and the extra window sheet. I think this functions much better, in my personal opinion. It slides super easy, and this gives a great weight to counterbalance these legs swinging back and forth. So this is my preferred method. You could do either one, but this is what I'm going to do. So I'm adhering a penny to a window sheet. If you don't want to use money, you could use a washer, or you just need something that's got a little oomph to it, a little weight, right? All right, I'm going to set this aside to dry so that I don't mess with that. All right, let's go ahead and start building our elf first. Why not? So I'm going to pull in my stamp apparatus. So you can use any stamp positioning tool for this. If you've got a Misty or one of those other ones, it's fine. But you know, the Stampin' Up! One I love the stamp apparatus. So if you don't have one, definitely get the stamp apparatus. There's lots of cool stuff you can do with it that you can't do with some of the other designs just because of the way this is designed. But what we're doing today, you can definitely do on any stamp positioning tool. Do you need a stamp positioning tool? Not necessarily. I'm doing it because these are really bold images, and I want to make sure I get a really good ink coverage. So we'll see that in just a moment. So I'm going to bring in my shaded Spruce ink pad. So Jean, it's warm there, nice, and or maybe not warm, but maybe not cold in Oregon. So no fires today. That's good. Hey, Connie. Hey, Susan, so glad you're here. Susan's getting ready to go on a big trip. All right, so I've inked that up with shaded Spruce, and then I'm just going to give this a little push. And you know, I missed some spots. So instead of risking it, this is where I put on the stamp apparatus, because I want really good deep color. So I'm just going to go over this again. You know, and this green almost looks black, right? On camera, probably. It does here too. But you know, after it sits and dries, I think it looks more green. I know that sounds weird, but that's my story. All right, one more time. I really want a good stamped image, and I can get one with the stamp apparatus. This is what I'm going to continue to do. It's looking a little more blotchy than I want it to be. Oh, I think you know what I'm seeing is wet versus dry ink. Oh, how funny. The angle I'm at, I'm seeing wet versus dry ink. Hopefully you guys are seeing good stamped images on your end. All right, I'm going to give it a quits. We're going to pull our paper right out of here, and I can clean this up later. So this is when I would use my Simply Chamois. I personally prefer the Scrub and Mist, but when it comes to cleaning up the stamp apparatus, it's so much easier to just take the chamois and clean it up with that. So that's how I will clean that later here in a bit. All right, and so I've got my super cute hat and boots. Now look at the difference in the green color, right? Because this is still really wet. It almost looks black. But this is the same color and it looks more green. So I guess best I can say, as it sits and dries and absorbs in the paper, you'll see a little bit more of the green shine out. All right, so I want to go ahead. I'm bringing in, not that end, my dark Real Red Stampin' Blend. You could use a marker as well. It doesn't have to be a blend. I just have the blend. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to color the dots on my hat. I like to use the little bowl tip. I have more control. Plus, I like to use the brush tip to do splattering, and it really kind of blows out your tip. So it's not really worth using anymore. I'm only going to color the top because I'm covering up the bottom anyway, so it's not important. So let's color in our little buckle. So I'm just adding in a little touch of red on my little elf here and her little stockings. I guess this could be a boy versus a girl elf. All right, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend the legs up a little bit. So I'm just going to draw them right in and color. You don't have to go up as far as I am, but I want to make sure I've got a little bit extra. So just filling in that stocking just a bit. This is going to give me a little extra room to play with as I go here. Now, I could go ahead and punch out this hat. If you don't have the punch, you could totally fussy cut this, but I'm going to bring my punch in. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you. For those of you that don't know, our punches come flat, right? So they've got a picture on one end, a picture on the top, and they have a lock on the bottom. So you just slide it and open it. This is the part that you squeeze. This is the part you put the paper in. You'd think you put it in over here, but you don't. This is the squeeze handle. I like to use it upside down most of the time so I can see where I stamped. Now, I'm not going in as far as I want because of this corner, because I put it at an angle. So darn it, I'm just going to clip that off. Now I'll be able to put that in where I want to put it in. Yes. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I'm just going to give it a light squeeze to hold it. And then I like to use 2 hands to punch it. So I'm just going to squeeze that out and punch it. Okay. That's all trash. All that stuff that popped out is going to be trash because I don't need it. And this is why I had the space between my legs and my hat, because I knew that that was going to cut out. Now, could have I switched the places and put the legs down and the hat above? Sure. Could have done that and put them a little closer together. But I actually want this extra space at the top, and I'll show you why in a moment. All right, I'm going to squeeze this closed, slide that, and it's locked, ready to go back on my shelf. Perfect. All right, let's finish our hat. We'll come back and fussy cut the boots in a minute. Okay, so I've got some of the red glimmer paper from the red and white glimmer paper pack. It's a 6x6 pack. Love it, love it, love it. Sorry, I'm bringing back in that punch that I thought I was done with, but I'm not. I want to punch the hat band. So I want a red hat band. And then I want a couple of, let's just go ahead and punch a set of 3 stars. Watch, I'm going to make a mess. Let's see if I can cover my hand over it so they don't pop out everywhere. And I lose them. So there's 3 stars there. And then let's go ahead and cut another set. I actually really only want the small stars from, well, I'll do one more set of 3. Fine. It won't hurt anything if I have too many stars. But I want a couple extra small ones, just that very small one right there. So I'm going to punch at least one more of those. All right, let's get all my trash out of the way because we don't need the trash. We'll slide that out of the way. Put this punch and paper away. I don't need any more of that. All right, perfect. So we're going to just slide the stars over for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and glue that little hat band right on its place. And I'll put a little liquid glue. So Jean, your fires have calmed down. That's good. Oh, and a little bit of rain too. That's nice. All right, we've had some really nice weather. It's sunny, but it's got that underlying, and it's technically warm. I mean, it's still in the upper 70s, mid upper 70s, but it's got that underlying cool fall chill in the air. You know how 75 can be hot and 75 can be a little chilly? I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that's weird like that, but it's got that fall feeling. I personally get sad when that happens because I'm a summer girl and I know that as soon as fall starts, it's like here and gone and done, and I didn't get to enjoy any of it because it doesn't stay. So it makes me sad because then all I think about is winter's coming. All right, next, I've got a little strip of shaded spruce green, and I used this zigzag border and cut one end of it. So this is from the Basic Borders dies. I don't know if you guys have these yet, but these are lots and lots of fun. They've been in the annual catalog for a couple of years now. Highly recommend adding these because they do some really fun things. This is great to build clouds, decorative borders, all kinds of fun stuff. I love this to make grass, like hills and stuff. It's fun. Okay, so I got my little zigzag going on. Now, I could use my punch to cut this out, but what I was finding is that it wasn't giving me the exact shape I was wanting. So what I did instead is I laid this down where I wanted it to fall, right? I'm just going to hold it in place, and I am going to use my paper snips and use that as a guide and just cut this shape. Super easy to do. But see, if I would punch it, would cut off my little points, and I want my little points, right? So now I can flip it back over. I've got my shape I want. And now I can just clip off these ends wherever I want these ends to be. I think I'm going to go right there and right there. So there's my little jolly elf hat. Now, I kind of shifted where I did my placement from the original one. So you can see I kind of end in the points on this at the top, and here I don't. I kind of like the ending in the points better than what I'm doing right here. I think it's cuter. You guys agree? I'm not going to redo it. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So we're going to put some dimensionals on this and pop this bad boy on there. You can use minis or big ones for this part, but you're going to want minis in just a bit, I think. You might be able to use some edges. All right, so there's my little elf portion. Yeah, it really makes a difference that it's not pointed on the end. Am I gonna like that? I think it'll still be cute, but I'm disappointed, right? I don't want to be disappointed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put a big star, use a little liquid glue here, just a daub. And I'm gonna put one of my big stars at the end of my hat. So this is my version of a pom-pom. I wanted to use the supplies that I had without adding a whole bunch of extra products in there. So we've got that. So our hat is ready to go. So now we're ready to work on our boots. So I'm gonna cut straight down from my stockings and I'm gonna leave this extra white space up here. Because we need that for our little mechanism. And then I'll just clip away this white. And you can leave as much white space or as little white space as you want to as you work on this. Just get some of that paper out of our way. All right. Now, I will tell you, fussy cutting this little curve of this boot is not the easiest thing. One side is easier than the other, at least for me, but the other side is actually a little difficult to cut. I think it's the way that the curve goes and being left-handed versus right-handed, maybe. I don't know. But it is not the easiest thing. So I'm going to come in here and do the best I can. Kind of curving my paper around. Let's see if I can get a little closer. I'm not going to worry about this loop right in there because I'm going to put that star right there. So if it covers up some of that, that's great. And then we'll just move this up this way. I don't want to cut these in half, but I do want to cut out that paper between them. I can go back in and get that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and finish this shoe. All right, I'm gonna be happy with that. And then we're gonna come around and do this one. You guys have to tell me, do you enjoy fussy cutting? I'm not a big fussy cutter. These have to be fussy cut though. They're so cute, at least for this project. Again, I'm not going to worry about trying to get way down into that curve of that boot, although this side is easier for me to cut for whatever reason. I didn't go far enough. One more clip. There we go. Got that. I think I'm going to be okay with that one as well. Okay, let's clean up between there. Perfect. And I'll get this other side. It's hard to remember. Don't cut them apart. You can salvage it, but you don't really want to cut them apart. All right. Get all my extra bits of paper out of here. All right. I'm going to go with that. Let's go ahead and put the little stars on the toes. And, you know, I'm going to go back and cut a little bit more out of this. I think it's going to bug me. Is it bugging you guys? Okay, good deal. All right, let's put a couple little glue dots right on the toes. Or dots of glue, not glue dots. Dots of glue. And then I struggle a little bit to pick these little bits up. So I'm just going to use my take your pick and place that on the toe there. Put one of them on the other toe. So cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Letting that dry, move those stars over. I'm going to let that sit. Next thing I want to do is I've got my layer of designer paper and I'm going to put this on top of my basic white cardstock. So I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal for this. Now to build my mechanism, I need a hole in this layer. Let me grab. I am bringing in, oh no, I dropped it. I am bringing in the Palms dies to grab this circle here. It's a little bigger than what I really want it to be, but it works fine. And it's the smallest circle die I have. So you can look through all your dies and pull a circle from anything. And it doesn't have to be an exact circle, but you need something that's at least as big as a dimensional, right? So I'm going to use this. I'm going to come down I'm gonna just kind of guess. So I'm gonna say it's about 2 inches from here to here that I'm coming. If we want to measure it, we can, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna let little stuff like that stress me out. And it may shift on me once I put it in the die cutting machine. So let me pull in the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I don't typically like to die cut on camera, but I have to do it. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to see how to do this. So for the mini, I'm using plate 1. And then this actually tells you for die cutting to use 2 plate 2s. I don't follow that direction. I add a plate 2. And then I use plate 4, which is for embossing. So I'm going to put that paper down, my die down. Okay, somewhat centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. And then I'm pulling in plate number 4. So again, this is for embossing, but I find that this works better for die cutting with the mini. Okay. A lot of times you'll have trouble where you've got to offset the end of your plates because they don't like to go through the sandwich very easy. You know, this is a smaller machine, so it doesn't feed in the plates as easily when they're even. So you have to offset them. So with this sandwich, I don't have to offset them, and I find it's thick enough to die cut. Now, as soon as I say that, it's probably not going to die cut, but let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't have any problems. I've done it a million times and never had a problem, but today, who knows? Yay, it cut. And it's funny because as it's going through the machine, it doesn't feel like it's going to cut. So I've got my little circle, so my mechanism can be built. So let's move this out of the way, put our little machine up. All right. Yay. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little penny pendulum behind my hole there. And I am going to place a dimensional. And because this is bigger than I need it to be, I'm going to put it towards the bottom. So what that does is that keeps that mechanism from sliding down any further. Okay. One thing I forgot to do. Let me go ahead and take this and angle cut these corners. I find that sometimes those points stick into the adhesive as we build the layer, and it can cause some problems in the movement. So I'm going to do that. I want to double stack my dimensional on this because I need a little extra height. So I took the backing paper off. Got to remember to leave that one on for a minute. And I'll put that right there. Now, this right here, I'm going to go ahead and curve this in a little bit at the top of my stocking and kind of taper it. I found because this is narrower, this hat is narrower than the witch hat, that it needed a little taper. And then I'm going to put this right on. Did I take the backing paper off? I did not. I'm going to adhere this right to that dimensional. Now, it looks like I did not, I should have left a little bit more paper on the bottom there so that this would have fully covered. So here's what I'm going to do, because I got a little sticky and I don't really want it to be sticky there. So I have a couple different things I can do. I can either take the circle and put it on here to cover that up, to cover my sticky, or I'm just going to take my embossing buddy and let that talc powder kind of take the sticky off of anything that's exposed. So I'm going to go with that route. Okay, so that is my legs are going to swing. Cute. I love it. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and build this. Let's go ahead and build this. So I'm going to turn this over. I like to put this down with foam strips. So they come in long sheets. I have cut off a portion of them. And I don't want my legs to kick out past the edge of this. So if I take this and kind of turn it from side to side, I can kind of see how far out the legs are going to go. So I don't want them to come out all the way. So I want that penny to stop, or that pendulum to stop about right there. So I'm going to kind of force it to stop. You can see my glue's not dry on my penny yet. Same thing on the other side. I don't want it to come out past, so I'm going to kind of place that down. Now, normally I wouldn't mind if it went out past. The reason I don't want it to come out past on this, which is different than what I did on the witch one, was because of the stars. I was finding the stars were catching as they were coming back and forth. So that's my rationalization on why I'm doing what I'm doing here. All right, let's see, I might put a couple more pieces just to give this some stability up here. All right, Now we're going to adhere this on our card front in just a moment. Let me slide that aside. Let's go ahead and do our layer for the card front. So I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of shaded spruce cardstock for my card base. We'll fold this in half. And then this is my designer paper. Now, I felt like I wanted a little bit of red in this paper, you know, give it a little more of a Christmas feel to it. So I'm going to bring back in my blend and I'm just going to color in some of the dots, right? Because I thought that was fun. So you can add your color to your designer paper and change up the look anytime you want to, which I think is fun. So I'm just like skipping a couple here and there because I thought that would be good. So let's just do around the edges here. See down here, I only skipped one. That's okay. No one's going to understand the pattern once I put the guy on it anyway, right? And I don't have to do the whole sheet because I'm only going to see the outer edges. So I want some color over here. So let's see. Let's just kind of come in here. It doesn't matter if it doesn't end up following my pattern the way I originally did it. No biggin. All right, I'm going to go with that. I know that looks very, very random and crazy, but I think it'll be just fine because we're really not going to see a lot of it. All right, I want to go ahead and adhere this. No, Wendy, so much easier. Put this on the card front first. Apologies, the brain. It's lunchtime, right? All right, here we go. This layer goes on our card fronts. Now, I just really wanted to put this down, obviously. We'll take the backing off. I hope you guys give this a try, that you're excited about it. Okay. I'm going to put this on. So cute. Okay. Now, to finish off this mechanism, we've got to add our gorgeous little hat. A couple of things to know when we put the hat down. We do not want to interfere with this mechanism. Now, if you're worried about it going up, that really won't hurt anything. But if that causes you stress, you could always put a dimensional here to keep it from moving upwards. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I think that's just fine and dandy. I'm wanting this to fall right here and pop up that hat. And this is why I colored the stocking up a little bit, is because I wanted the legs longer. I could have squished it up a little bit more by pushing this down a little bit further, but I really wanted that longer stocking look. And so that's why I colored up a little bit more, so that as the legs swing, you're not going to see white space there, or that's my intention anyway, right? All right, so I want to put adhesive on the two sides, but I've got to avoid that mechanism. So I'm going to use a mini dimensional on both sides of this. Okay. Now you can use mini dimensionals on the rest of it if you want to. I'm going to use a couple of the regular dimensionals. I'm going to put one there and one there. Okay. I don't think my supply list that I'm adding has regular dimensionals on there. I think I only listed the mini, but if you guys have questions on what that item number is, just let me know and I'm happy to help. I kind of like the hat being off the edge a little bit. I always think that's fun. All right, let's double check. Do we have a good? Yay, she's dancing. Or he. Maybe this is the guy, since I cut off his points. So cute. I love it. All right, next we've got our sentiment. Did I leave any scrap? It's pretty darn tight. Let's see. I'm gonna have to grab a scrap, I think, because I was not careful to leave any scrap on that, but I've got tons of scraps. Okay, so this sentiment, I'm gonna use the Be Jolly, and that is from the Celebrate with Tags stamp set that we talked about. Yes, this one here. So one thing about bewitching is that there are no sentiments, so you can put in whatever sentiment you want with it. Granted, you can do that anyway, even if it did have them. But I like that you can do this. So give us a nice. Now, this is a solid image as well, like the like the hat and boot was, but for whatever reason, with this being such a small image, I didn't have any issues stamping it and getting a nice solid image. Now there is a die. So this is the, these are the Celebration Tags dies. So this is the die set here. Love it, love it, love it. And this has a little banner. So you can lay this right on there and die cut that. I'm actually not going to. If you don't have these dies yet, you don't necessarily need them. I'm just going to fussy cut this. It's a super easy image to cut out to do a banner. So I'm just going to cut it out for today's purposes. But yes, you could totally die cut it with the banner. And normally I would. I just want to show you guys, it's a super easy fussy cut since we've been fussy cutting already today. Little pieces like this are sometimes more difficult to die cut. Cute. All right. Move all my scrap out of the way. And let's put this sentiment down. Now on the other one, I put it up high, but I think because I ended up positioning the elf a little higher, I'm going to put this one down low. And I'm going to pull back out my mini dimensionals if I can find where I stashed them. Here they are. And put a couple of them. Hopefully I'm on the right side of this. I flipped it properly. If not, I can pull them off. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to place that right there along the bottom. I want to make sure it's clearing my legs so that that can swing freely. But I love it. It's so cute. So cute, so cute. All right, let's do the inside. Of course, we have to bring the design to the inside. So I've got a piece of red and a piece of white. I'm going to adhere those together using my Stampin' Seal. And then you could add some designer series paper to the inside if you wanted to. For this, I chose to just add a few of these stars to bring the design to the inside. So I'm just going to take a little glue, put a few dots. Okay. And then let's pick up a few of these stars and place them right into that glue. There's one. Oops. I just need to get it to the right side. Is that a white star? That's a white star. That's why it wasn't flipping to red. Too funny. All right, and we'll put one down here too. Cute. Fun, fun, fun. I love it. Oh, good. Dawn, you like it? Hey, Dawn, I'm glad you're here today. Nice. Okay, I think it makes a big difference whether you end on the points or on the sides. I may have to put a new layer on that. What do you guys think? Does it still look elfish without having the points at the ends? That might be an important touch to it. I'll have to ponder that. Cute, 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 cute. So you can put it more centered. So I would put the hole down a little lower than what I did here. Here I had it up a little higher. But I think both work fabulous. Good. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this card. Now, if you love cards that move, you are going to want to make sure you join us for our Maker's Mojo event coming up later in October. So it's going to be October 21st and 22nd. I collaborate with 4 other demonstrators, Anne-Marie Heil, Audra Monk, Melissa Kerman, and Joe Blackman, just from the UK. So she brings in an element from across the globe, which is I love, just love it. You know, it's a great group to be with. Everybody has lots of wonderful talents, and we're all very different in our style. So we bring a nice collaboration. We each do 2 live presentations, so that there's a total of 10 presentations, live presentations. And we do a few of them. We kick it off on Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern. And we do, I think, 3 presentations this time. We've shifted one more to Friday to make our Saturday not quite as long. And then we have the rest of the presentations on Saturday. And then there's a little after thing this time too. So you'll find out more once you register. So we're super excited about it. We hope that you'll join us. I will add a link in with the description on the video. So you'll have to expand the description, just do show more, see more. I'm not sure exactly what the words say, but expand that out. You'll be able to see it. So yeah, you guys are liking the points better. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go cut a new one and probably pick that off and put a new one on, because I think it makes a huge difference too. The more I look at it, this bugs me. I should have slid it over. But see, this way you guys learn from my mistakes, so you won't make these same mistakes, right? Too funny, too funny. So yeah. So if you guys are enjoying the crafty videos each Tuesday, I hope you'll come back and join me again. But share this with your crafty friends. And I appreciate that. And definitely subscribe to my channel. If you're watching on replay on YouTube or on Facebook, I appreciate that as well. So hopefully you guys had a good time today, and we'll give this one a try. Stinking cute. Oh, love it, love it, love it. And I will see you all again next Tuesday for some more crafty fun. All right. Thank you all. Have a great week.